Hello mate, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that, friend. And welcome back to, drumroll please, of course, yes, Chelsea News. The daily series here on the channel where I reflect on the world of Chelsea news, what's going on, what's being said at least. We reflect on it together, I give you my opinion on it. More importantly, I ask for yours. Lukaku could seriously be going out the door. The impossible deal could be happening, which would be a big weight off all our chests. Our collective chest, the weight will be lifted. We'll reflect on news on that. And of course, we need to talk about defenders, mate, as well, because Chelsea are putting the feelers out for many different options to rebuild seemingly the whole defence. So we've got players to look at. A Jorginho swap for an Atalanta defender. Ooh la la! And yes, we're going to look at the stats. I know you boys like it. And women, ladies, men, all of you. Whatever you identify as, you guys like stats. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who drops a like on the video. It means a lot. It helps the channel out. And you're welcome to subscribe. Should you choose to do so, make sure you click that all-important bell notifications icon button. And I want to let you guys know that this video is brought to you by SPITCH. Ding, 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 ding. Hey, look, the old background. The green screen's not pulled down far enough. SPITCH is fantasy football that I love. It's the off season, but not for too long, and it's the perfect time to get acquainted with this totally free and fun experience that, yes, I'm going to reiterate the best thing, or one of the best things about this. It runs on an OptaStats engine. It's not like stupid, dumb fantasy football and it's like, no goal, no clean sheet. Well, you're going to get no points despite the player playing well. You get rewarded accordingly on SPITCH. You don't have to commit for a whole season. You can play every week. Sign in, it's free, or you can pay some money, wager to win. It's 18 plus, and you can play against managers all across the world. SPITCH is wonderful. Click the link in the description to go sign up. Check it out now, so you're ready for when the season starts. I'm thinking of putting a league together. It depends how things go. Go check out SPITCH now. Thank you. Woo! We're back in the studio, baby. Blah. So we're going to talk about defenders. Matthijs de Ligt, Demiral. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Stats-based. But let's talk about Romelu? God, I went to a weird accent there. Romelu Lukaku. Also, I forgot Presnel Kimpembe. Let's talk about that quickly. So this is a tweet from at Philip Sport citing Dean Jones saying this, quote, Tuchel really likes him, as in Presnel Kimpembe, and he's made it clear to the recruiters at Chelsea that this is the case. So this will be like, I really like him. There you go. Tuchel is getting special permission to go and get the players he likes. So probably one to watch for the moment. To reiterate as well, news that we've reported on before here on the channel, here on the series, Chelsea News, Todd Boehly's Brilliant Blues project, he's literally giving Thomas Tuchel the reins. Now, Thomas Tuchel, for all the difficulties he has endured in his personal life with his ex-wife or not ex-wife now, the Romelu Lukaku stuff, the pandemic, the sanctions, the sale, the questions in press conferences, the underperforming attackers on the pitch, for all the difficulties Thomas Tuchel has had to endure, maybe it's paying off because he is like a kid in the candy store. In many ways, for a manager, Thomas Tuchel has just won the golden ticket for Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. In fact, if you're old enough to remember that original movie, I didn't see the newer one with Johnny Depp, he gets to own, spoiler, he gets to win the Chocolate Factory at the end. I'm trying to make this work with Thomas Tuchel. Basically, he can do whatever he wants and run Chelsea and have all the players he wants, which is such a unique position for a manager to be like, go spend. I know Klopp and Pep over time have built it, but for him to go, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. It's, okay, the Willy Wonka comparison falls down, but he's like a kid in the candy store. So, brilliant. Presnel Kimpembe, we've mentioned him recently here on the channel. I like him. And I like him because I don't like him. Let me explain that. We've played against PSG before, or I've watched teams play against PSG and he's annoyed me and I've been like, he looks like a dickhead the way he's behaving. And that's the kind of players you want in your team. Ones that are strong, they're physical, and they wind you up. We need that. We need that in our team. Chelsea's too soft from back to front, especially now we've lost Rudiger. I mean, you could argue we've toughened up a little bit now. Christensen's gone. No, I'm sorry. Weak joke. Unfair. Good luck to him at Barca. Presnel Kimpembe. Let's move on. Let's talk about Romelu Lukaku. I'm going to cite Cy Phillips's news site, chelsea-news.co, because he's aggregated some stuff on Romelu Lukaku here that I find interesting, and I think you will too, friend. So strap yourself in. It seems Romelu Lukaku's return to Inter Milan is now full steam ahead after progressive day in negotiations yesterday. A number of top sources have been reporting on this story and have all been producing their updates late yesterday, and the majority of the reports are pretty much saying the same thing. The Lukaku to Inter deal has accelerated choo-choo in the last 24 hours. So, citing some tweets now, at Absolute Chelsea via Dimarzio saying, Inter Milan's confidence about Romelu Lukaku's return to Italy has increased a lot in the last few hours. Inter are willing to pay, quote, an important fee for loan for Chelsea. So, pause. Chelsea, of course, were quoting like 20 million a year loan fee, something ridiculous. Kind of like, look, if you're going to take us to the cleaners for this player, we're just not going to give him back to you for like nothing. Remember when I made that statement about Chelsea are going to have their pants pulled down regardless, but I was only willing to expose a crack rather than full buttocks? Hopefully we're like partial crack here. This is what I'm going for. Another one through Absolute Chelsea via Nathan Gissing, or Gissing, who of course runs Chelsea News page, affiliated with Dimarzio, young lad, good reporter, bold accounts. Oh, I've just clicked on something here. There is growing confidence that Inter Milan's side pushing for Romelu Lukaku, just reiterating the other bit. Fabrizio Romano has said Inter are pushing Romelu Lukaku this summer. The Belgian striker is now insisting with Chelsea to leave the club. He only wants Inter move. It's like Diego Costa, and he's like, I only want to go to Atletico Madrid. Talks are ongoing, potential loan fee between the two clubs, Lukaku is willing to reduce his salary. So he's just tweeted again, actually, Fabrizio Romano this morning. That was last night. Inter are now prepared to open talks with Chelsea to discuss the Romelu Lukaku loan deal and details. Lukaku has held discussion with Chelsea, but now it's time for direct contract between the clubs. Loan fee, salary, and more will be discussed with Inter soon. So Romelu Lukaku's been making serious moves in the background. I don't think this is snaky. I mean, it's all unsavoury, and I'm not happy with Lukaku. I'm very disappointed. The interview still blows my friggin' mind, dude. But, of course, like, the dude's 29. I've said this before. He was king of the world at Inter and Belgium. Comes to Chelsea. He's not been kicking up a fuss in the dressing room or causing rifts or anything like that. But clearly he's like, this can't go on. So what are you going to do as a 29-year-old, exiting your prime, or, at that age where you can't mess about? He's going to do all he can to get out. So I don't actually condemn him for that. So he's been talking to all sorts of Inter people, Chelsea people, and now it's up to the clubs to do it. But it does look like he's going to go, which I guess is a shame. I mean, it's a shame they didn't work, but it's a good thing that we found this resolution where Lukaku can essentially just leave Chelsea. So Cy Phillips also saying, Dimarzio as well published the report last night, and there's reports that confidence is increasing that Lukaku will once again become an Inter Milan player. It looks like the striker will take a drop in wages to get the move done, seemingly being super desperate to leave Chelsea and jump ship just one season back at the club. The deal will almost certainly be a loan move that will involve some option or obligation to buy. Probably the latter based on reports. Obligation to buy sounds better for me. Chelsea will take a hit, but they'll only take a small hit. It has to be like that. It has to be like that. So let me know what you think on that Romelu Lukaku. Comment down below. Let's talk about defenders. We need defenders. Jules Koundé, of course, having surgery. Shouldn't cause too much problem with the transfer. Let's talk about Barcelona. We'll follow that up if it comes to fruition. But how are they going to afford him? They're signing Christensen on the free. They need to figure out how to register him first. They're not going to pump out another 50 million for a 50 million pounds. So what's that? 60 million euro plus for Jules Koundé. And then they also want to buy, Alonso and Aspi. Aspi can play centre half. He'll be a lot cheaper. We'll see what happens. We'll follow that. But we're learning English, and then we're going to talk about Matthijs de Ligt and Demiral. Quickly, let's talk about de Ligt, because the Demiral story is actually pretty interesting. It's actually pretty, I don't know, man. It feels like there could be something in that. But let's talk about Sport Witness talking about Sport Witness have published an article about Matthijs de Ligt. Let's jump on that. Antonio Rudiger has left Chelsea for Madrid, and the Blues confirmed Andreas Christensen will be leaving as well to Barcelona. The situation has forced the West London club to look for a new centre-back. Yes, various reports have pushed Jules Koundé as the main option, with Sevilla chief admitting the Premier League side can be an attractive option for him. Koundé suffered an injury setback and will undergo surgery. Even before La Liga's man's injury blow, Chelsea have been looking at other defenders, and this includes Matthijs de Ligt. On Tuesday, Corriere dello Sport explained that Thomas Tuchel's side are the leading squad for the suitor for the Juventus defender on Jules Koundé. I think Chelsea knew about the long-standing injury. Chelsea are okay with the surgery. I don't think that complicates things too much, and they're probably happy he does surgery now, so he'll be ready for when the season starts, by all accounts. That doesn't mean you can't look for other defenders, and this is where Matthijs de Ligt comes in. Calcio Mercato have been reporting the detailing Netherlands' international contract situation and his suitors. Having finished 4th in the last 2 seasons, the 22-year-old is asking the City A side for sporting guarantees and wants a release clause lowered from 120 million to 80 million euro, which is about 60 million pounds, 65 million pounds or something. Yeah, of course, he won the title for Ajax. He captained them to a title-winning side. He played well in the Champions League, went to Juventus. Been poor ever since. While the ex-Ajax man's renewal is proceeding at slow pace, the clubs are ready to take advantage of his situation at Juve. This includes Chelsea, who are, quote, serious about the player. De Ligt is in no hurry to make a decision, still so young, of course, especially for a defender, as he wants to carefully consider his next move in a summer which is vital for development of his career. Although Chelsea are, quote, serious about the Dutchman, Calcio Mercato add they are not alone in the chase for de Ligt. Chelsea apparently have looked at Matthijs de Ligt for a little while now, which is interesting. He's got great leadership qualities. I like him, but many of you guys would talk about, Gerhi, who's a really good defender and got leadership qualities. He's already captained Palace, which is mental, seeing as he's only just got there as a young kid. But yeah, Matthijs de Ligt's profile is huge, and a lot of you guys understandably want him. But this is an interesting story. I want to move on to Caught Offside, talking about an Atalanta defender. Now, Atalanta are exciting. They play attacking football, and they are just high octane and entertaining. So when you get linked to an Atalanta player, it feels like it will be good value. They won't demand silly wages because their wage budget in Serie A is really low, and you're going to get an exciting player. Chelsea's been linked with the Turkish defender, Merih Demiral. Merih? Is that how you say it? It must be. Chelsea could be set to steal a march in the race to land Juventus star Merih Demiral. Also, he's a Juventus player on loan at Atalanta. Okay. So the Turkish defender is attracting interest ahead of his possible return to Turin after spending the season on loan at Atalanta. We're going to look at his stats in just a second. Demiral is not likely wanted back at Juve, and as a permanent sale is the most likely result this summer. Pause. Why is he not wanted back at Juve? Red flag? Should we wave it? Yeah, I think so. Newcastle United have been linked with, as a result. Classic. Because let's be real, if you're not linked with Newcastle United, are you not a football player? With Atalanta not activating their option to make the deal permanent. And why is that as well? Hold on, should we get another red flag out? We waved 2 red flags. According to Calcio Mercato Web, Chelsea are also interested in Demiral amid their need for a new defenders with Rudiger and Christensen. Blah, 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 blah. According to the report, the Blues could land the centre-back on a straight swap deal involving Jorginho. Jorginho's out of contract at the end of next season, and Chelsea could move to utilise his value if they don't want to give him a new contract, though that would leave them with a fresh hole in the midfield of the park. Right, so pause. Jorginho's interesting because 1 year left on his deal, going to be 31, probably not had his best season. Straight swap for a defender, if Jorginho's worth 25, 30 million, a straight swap for a young defender in his early 20s could be good. Jorginho would probably do really well at Atalanta, knocking the ball about in Serie A again for an attacking side, probably would suit him. I think he wants to go back to Italy if we believe reports. And Chelsea get a defender that, if he's given the green light by Thomas Tuchel, might be good. So let's look at his statistics, or at least his best attributes here on a scouting report. Shot creating actions, Top 1 percentile. Goal creating actions, top 2%. Successful pressures, and we know...
Precious? Thomas Tuchel loves my precious.
Sorry. Yeah. Successful pressures, generally top 2%, really impressive. In the midfield third, top 2%. Aerials 1, we like that. Defenders need to win aerials. 4.7 per game, basically. That's mental. So loads of aerials. 1, he does pass offside a lot. Wait, what? 0-0-0. Oh, so that means he doesn't. So that's good, right? And then pressures again, generally. So not so successful, but he tries basically 15 pressures per game, which is incredible. Top 6% for total shots, shot creating actions, I think. Non-penalty XG, which is really high. Passes intercepted, still really high. So this is a really good mix of offensive and defensive. And I put pressures in the defensive as well, even though, you're going towards the ball, up pitch or whatever. So Thomas Tuchel will love those high turnover actions, shot creating actions, goal creating actions, interception. Is it interceptions? Yeah, a pass is intercepted, top 7%, pretty decent. And he wins aerial duels. He wins loads and loads of aerial duels. In the Premier League, you need to be able to do that, man, in both boxes. Whether you're attacking a corner or you're just defending against a team who play direct and are going to throw loads of balls into the box, you need to be able to win those aerials. Especially, even though Jules Koundé actually wins loads of aerials, everyone's like, are we sure he can't win aerials? Which is completely untrue. He looks good. What do you think? Jorginho swap, have you watched enough of him? I certainly haven't. I'm reacting to the news. It's another centre-back we're being linked with, but Chelsea will of course play the field immensely, certainly at the beginning stage of the transfer window. And guys, believe it or not, we're still at the beginning stage of the transfer window. So don't panic. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Do go check out SPITCH, of course, my partner, by signing up, clicking the link in the description. And yeah, I'll keep it locked. As soon as something else comes up, I'll let you know. See you soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper.